What's up, everybody, and welcome back to part 9 of my Making a Murderer review, where I'm going over the timeline of events, reviewing Making a Murderer episode by episode, and then giving a little bit of commentary of my own over what's going on during the case. In the last episode, Stephen Avery was found guilty and sent to prison. This episode focuses mostly on the trial of Brendan Dassey. Episode 9 of Making a Murderer. If you haven't seen Making a Murderer yet, go watch that first on Netflix and then come back, because it's all spoilers from here. Jerry Buting opens up episode 9 of Making a Murderer saying, if they framed Stephen Avery, is Brendan Dassey's trial going to be a charade as well? Ken Kratz, in his opening statements, asks, was he there? Did he help? And then proceeds to say once again that Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey stabbed Teresa Halbach. That is such a flawed part of their case, in my opinion, because there's no blood, there's no DNA, there's nothing. Like, I don't understand how they keep going back to that argument. They can't prove that she was ever in the trailer. Brendan Dassey's lawyer says there's no DNA, there's no blood, there's no saliva, there's no sweat, there's no hair. His lawyer gets it. I don't understand how the prosecution keeps going back and beating that horse over and over and over again. How can you argue something that you cannot prove at all? Zero evidence. It's mind-boggling. Then they play a interview that was conducted on November 6, 2005, one day after the RAV4 was found. This interview was done by Detective Anthony O'Neill with Brendan Dassey. He asks, do you remember seeing this girl, referring to Teresa Halbach? Brendan Dassey says, I was at school. Anthony O'Neill asks what about after school. Brendan Dassey replies with, I found out about it on Thursday because my mom called me and told me she was missing. They talk about the initial interview between Kayla Avery and Mark Weirgart, where she tells Mark that Brendan Dassey has been acting up lately, crying randomly, and he lost 40 pounds. They show footage of Mark Weirgart and Tom Fossbender repeatedly talking and telling Brendan Dassey that he saw something in the fire. You had to have seen something in the fire. The fire pit's not that big. It's hard to believe that you did not see anything in the fire pit. Brendan says he saw toes. Now, someone testified that these flames were as tall as a building, and you're telling me that you see toes with the flames as big as there was the garage roof or something someone testified to, and you see toes. How do you, maybe finger toes? You see toes in this supposedly gigantic bonfire. He picks out toes. The jury is then shown a video of Dassey's confession, the ridiculous thing that should never have been allowed in court. Clearly a coerced statement. They repeatedly tell him what they want to hear over and over and over again. But they are not shown the part where Brendan tells his mom that he only said it because the police got in his head. Barb, Brendan's mother, is then shown outside of the court saying that she did not decline to go in with Brendan when he was being interviewed by the police, that the police did not let her in. She says Mark is lying on the stand. Of course, Mark Weirgart stated that Barb said that she declined to go in with Brendan when he was being interviewed. Barb says that's not true. Brendan Dassey's lawyer says to Mark Weirgart, who's on the stand, there is no evidence that connects Brendan Dassey to Teresa Halbach in any way. Mark Weirgart comes back with this line. I've got a lot to say about this line. Correct. They had 5 days to clean it up. So you're telling me that Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey got rid of every single speck of evidence, every single piece of DNA, every drop of blood, sweat, hair, saliva was completely cleaned up and impossible to detect. The amount of bleach they would have had to use to clean up that blood, you would have been smelling bleach in that house for days, weeks, a stupid long time. And you could still tell if it was cleaned up with bleach. So you're telling me they got rid of everything. They are Dexter level cleanup artists. But they forget to get rid of the keys and the RAV4. There's a crusher on the property. They're getting rid of everything. But they forgot about the keys and they forgot about the car. Are you this guy, Mark Weirgart, is an embarrassment to everything. Maybe he's that dumb. I don't know. Maybe he actually is that dumb. Maybe he actually believes everything he's saying. He believes that Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey completely cleaned up a crime scene over the course of 5 days that was indetectable by police. Come on. Does anybody think that that's possible? No? I didn't think so. What a guy. Kayla Avery is now on a stand, and then she tells the court, while being questioned by the prosecution, that Brendan didn't tell her anything. She made it up, and she's sorry. She made it up, I guess, to get Brendan in trouble. Brendan never actually told her anything. And then, of course, the prosecution, no further questions, Your Honor. Saw that coming. That did not go the way they wanted it to go. Now, Brendan Dassey is on the stand. I was horrified for this moment. I did not think he would hold up well under questioning from either side. But he did magnificent. You could tell he's telling you the truth. You could tell that he's not making up what he's saying now. This was his initial story, the true story. He's not intelligent enough to come up with the lie. You can see in the tapes the only reason why he's saying anything, because he's scared of the police. He wants to do the right thing by the police officers. Mark Weirgart and Thomas Fassbender told him 75 plus times that he was lying to them in order to get Brendan to change his story, in order to get Brendan to change his mind. 75 times you're called a liar by law enforcement. Almost anybody's going to think, maybe I am lying. It's a ridiculous interrogation tactic, especially with somebody with the learning disability that Brendan Dassey has. Just absolutely disgusting. These guys should be nowhere near any form of law enforcement ever. So Brendan Dassey is on the stand. He doesn't know the difference between feet and yards. But these two officers, these two detectives, thought it was okay to interview him without his parents, without a lawyer, without anybody around. Seems reasonable. And then he states what happened. He went directly home. He played video games. He had food. He states his brother Blaine was going trick-or-treating. Talked to his mom on the phone. Got a call at 6 p.m. from Blaine's boss. Watched TV till 7 p.m. Got a call from Stephen Avery, who asked him to come to the bonfire. They picked things up for the bonfire. Talked to Stephen about a phone call that Stephen had with Jody. When he got home, he talked to his mom on the phone again, and then I went to bed. He talks about his weight loss. It wasn't 40 pounds. It was 5 or 10 pounds, and he was losing it because people were making fun of him. People were teasing him because he was fat. He believes his first girlfriend ever broke up with him because he was fat. Yeah, because that wouldn't make you want to lose weight. Your first girlfriend ever breaks up with you because she thinks you're fat. Yeah, you're going to lose weight, and you're going to lose weight pretty quick. Makes complete sense. And I'm not saying that on any level of sarcasm whatsoever. I 1,000,000% believe if my first girlfriend broke up with me because she said I was fat, I guarantee you I would have tried to lose weight. He had never seen Teresa Halbach before until it came up on the news that she was missing when his mom called him and told him to turn on the news and told him that Teresa was missing. The state plays a tape of him talking to his mom, telling her what he did, asks why he didn't tell his mom back on the day that it happened what he did. He states, because it didn't happen. She was never there when I was there. I made it up. They ask him, are you lying today? He says no. They ask, how did you give the police so much detail? And he says, he got it from a book called Kiss the Girls, which is also a movie, I believe, with Morgan Freeman. I don't know if both are related, but there's definitely a movie with Morgan Freeman called Kiss the Girls. And, of course, the book. Where did Kayla get the info, they asked. He says, I don't know. The news. And then the lawyer says this, Jen. What newscast would have that been, sir? He says, I don't know, but how about all of them? You don't think every single news station in that area was playing this story 24/7 with all the information? Of course they were. Woo! They go to closing arguments. The verdict comes back. And of course, Brendan is found guilty. Oh, wait. Is it a coincidence that Andrew Colburn is the guy that's walking Brendan Dassey to his verdict hearing and sitting beside him or behind him in court? No, not a coincidence? I didn't think so either. The verdict comes back, and of course, Brendan is found guilty. Guilty of first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, which didn't Stephen get found innocent of? Mutilating a corpse, and second-degree sexual assault. How do you find someone guilty of second-degree sexual assault with zero evidence? No DNA, no blood, no sweat, no hair, no nothing. But you find them guilty? That's bonkers. Just ridiculous. On August 7th, 2007, Brendan Dassey is sentenced to life in jail with the possibility of early release in 2048. What year is it? 2021? He's still got like 27 years left before he could possibly get paroled. Oh man, it hurts. It hurts what they did to Brendan Dassey in this. I don't really know what else to say. This is the hardest part of this case for me, is seeing how bad they railroaded Brendan. I sure hope they somehow get to the truth, prove that he didn't do it, even though they already did, but he can somehow get released, sue Manitowoc County Sheriff's Office and everybody else for $1 zillion, and live the rest of his life like a king. I truly hope that. I'll be back soon with episode 10. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you again soon.